hands. You've got hands. I've definitely got hands, but hands are weird. They got that bit. They got that bit sort of bends. I mean, they all bend in like one or two ways each, and that's hugely upsetting. This one only bends. Well, that one bends in two ways. These bend in three ways because they got the one of them, and then they got all the lines and stuff. Hands are weird. And I don't think my thumb should do that. It hurts when I. Ow. Yeah. Hands are weird. And the nails, they're not actually made of nail, are they? Otherwise they'd be grey. Hands are weird. Hands are weird. Hands are really weird. Hands are weird. Maybe it's just mine. I think it's all hands. Hands are weird.
I was the unexpected item in the bagging area. You thought that you knew all the things that you put in your basket, but now you're held up, red lights flashing, and the assistant is busy. Maybe I'm a bag, or maybe that toothpaste weighs more than you thought. It was me. It was me.
Ready?
Ready.
Hello? Anyone home? Do you have life insurance? You got your will sorted? Just a few signatures and we can take over all that icky business for you. Will you be there at the end, signing papers, telling your loved ones which ones get the telly and which ones just get to feel ripped off? Unlikely! You're probably going to go mental and think you're an actual fish. Why not sign the papers now? Get that all over and done with while you still can. Yes, there will be problems, but for us, that's our guarantee. Awesome life insurance, awesome with an O. Oh, like I made that up on the spot, but I'm reading it off my paper. No more problems for you. Nothing to worry about at all. Yes, it's our problem, but not yours. Erasmus Life Insurance, where the Rasmus is in the... And you won't even have to worry. Leave you alone forever. You'll never see me again. Obviously not. Would I ever go up the stairs or anywhere else where you're not? That's the awesome promise. We can do it really cheap right now if you just sign the paper. What we're really selling here is peace of mind. Can you actually guarantee that your family will know how you want your worldly possessions divided up after you die and split up between all those left alive while you are dead?
Grief can do silly things to people. So why not let someone else sit down and fix the business, and then you can just go back to living whatever kind of life you want. Judgment free, effectively. There will be problems. Rasma life insurance. Rasma guarantee. Not for you. And it's not even that expensive. You just got to write a blank check, and then we'll fill all of the numbery type things. You don't got to worry about. No, want to get into heaven, don't you? How are you going to get into heaven when your family doesn't even know what you've left them? But I can see you're busy. You're not interested, so I'll see you later. Goodbye. What the f?
Yo, I must have, like, fallen on a bullet, and it, like, drove itself into my gut?
Hey, don't worry. You don't have to make up stories here. Save that for court. Save that for court.
Excuse me, Mr. Smithers. Bart may be seriously hurt. Could we possibly go ahead of you?
No. I really would rather get this taken care of. No. I really would rather. No.
Excuse me, little lady. The wheelbarrow line is over there. Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers are a dangerous mix. Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers are a dangerous mix. Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers are a dangerous mix. Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers are a dangerous mix.
Excuse me, Mr. Smithers.
Excuse me, little lady.
Excuse me, Mr. Smithers.
Excuse me, little lady.
Excuse me, Mr. Smithers.
Excuse me, little lady.
Excuse me, Mr. Smithers.
Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers. Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers. Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers. Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers are a dangerous mix.
Jeremy Mange, isn't he strange? But listen to his voice, he's got incredible range.
This might look like any other under 12's hardcore shindiggy rave doodah, but it may surprise you to know that all these children are on drugs. It might cause you more shock and vexation to further your knowing and know no further that these children are actually in their 80s and or 90s. The new drug taking the elderly by storm and or hurricane. Hashtag YOLOAP. This old cow has just spent the last of her winter fuel allowance on hashtag YOLOAP. Look at the grin on her smug, wrinkled old fucking face. She knows in just a few minutes she'll be a child again, free to relive an unsanctioned, if only temporary, additional adolescence. Except this time without all the rationing and bombs.
What am I going to feed them on?
A puma.
Are they coloured?
Taken subliminally, the drug can last up to 2 2/4 days, but if one were to double dip in the fountain of youth, the effects could last up to 3 3/3 of a week. It is in the second week of regressionol where participants risk a YOLOAPS. It is in this state where the truly hardcore raving begins. Here we see how wrong things can go. This batch of hashtag YOLOAP was cut with Werther's Originals and cod liver oil. The mental effects are the same, but without the desired physical effects. The pensioner will continue to rave until expiration, about 10 seconds from now, at a huge expense to the taxpayer. Even worse, when we look at the creation of hashtag...
And I mean, that's really why it's best to Google the royals before you make jokes
This big.
about, like...
This big he was. When they found him. We gotta not. We gotta not. We can't. We can't talk about the royals, Ben. You know we can't. How's it going, wonderful people? Yeah, you should probably plug that in so we can hear you and stuff. I wondered why you're a bit quiet. Hi, wonderful
Hi.
Livestream pod babies. How's it going? We thought rather than me and Ben have a conversation about what happened with the hashtag YOLOAP sketch, why not just actually, start the show? Some guy named Sai. Yeah, I don't know why it says Minecraft. Hang on, let's change that because this is not currently Minecraft. I'm sorry if you're here for Minecraft.
That's a different word.
Yes, I'm dyslexic, so sometimes when I say Minecraft, I mean Muppets and vice versa.
Both popular with children and sad adults.
Sadults, if you will.
Adults.
Hashtag YOLOAP was a sketch that we did a few years ago, and I paid for a bunch of YouTube ads just to like boost the numbers a little bit, get it a little more visible online, and we got like a 1,000 hits or so, which is really good for us because we don't know what we're doing. And then I got a not a takedown notice, but like the advert got cancelled because it included ad placement for pharmaceuticals. It's like, no, it does not.
Not a thing.
This isn't real. This is a fake drug we have made up. But yeah, so that's why that ad stopped running.
3 a.m.
Yep. Oh man.
All very, very tired.
That was some excellent 3 a.m. work, I think. Hi, Livestream. My name's Liam. That's Ben. We're Muppets. It's thematic. Muppets. Muppety, muppety, muppety. Muppety, muppety, moo. That's the conversation hat promise.
Yeah, that's the conversation hat. We'll see you next time. How have you been doing, Liam, in the month that it was since your face last graced my laptop screen?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm having a great time. I'm waiting for pubs. I think we're all waiting for pubs. But I'm waiting for that sweet spot about a month from now when, like, people who say they can't wait to go back to the pub but don't really mean it have gotten real drunk and then remembered why they don't go to the pub. And then the pub will be empty of dickheads and I can start going to the pub again.
It's just back to normal.
Yeah, normal pub routine, not like, oh, let's fucking cram the beers in because we're bellends, which is what it's going to be for a bit. Yeah.
There are some pubs that are opening which I do not think should. I mean, Wetherspoons shouldn't, in general.
There's different reasons.
There's the one near us saying that, like, that their garden is going to be open. Anyone who doesn't know the Wetherspoons I'm talking about won't necessarily have the same reaction, but they say that they can fit 100 people into their garden.
No.
They cannot fit 100 people into that garden.
No.
There's some places that aren't going to be opening because they just cannot do it logistically or financially. Fiscally? Is fiscally the word that I'm thinking about?
I think that's the word you're thinking. But you could have also said financially and we wouldn't have had to...
I said financially just to be safe, to show that I did know what I was talking about.
You know
but
words.
Sometimes I like to learn new words.
Yeah. You're a wordy boy.
So don't go to Wetherspoons.
Don't go to Wetherspoons. Ben, can you turn your mic gain up a little bit? Sorry.
I can.
Thank
Sorry,
you,
I've turned it down last time because
you were shrieking. Shouting. You were. Is this going to be a shouty episode about the Muppets?
It depends. I can't... maybe. I'll turn it back down if I start doing impressions of Muppets.
Okay. Wonderful. Sorry, I was talking over you.
Support the local boozer. Go to the little pub. Don't go to the big ones that can afford it. If you don't go to them, go to the little ones that will appreciate your business.
Boozeness.
But don't all go to the same one,
No.
because then it turns into that South Park episode with Walmart.
Hey man, have you tried day drinking? That's a real good way to spread out, like, people through the day. Day drinking.
It's too late to go to the shop and buy some booze now.
Yeah, you are kind of in the middle of a show right now.
I'll do it after.
Do it
the
later.
live stream.
Exactly.
I'm sure Deliveroo do something like that now.
Yeah, probably. So.
Yes, Muppets.
Muppets.
The reason that the reason we're doing a live stream about Muppets is little glimpse behind the scenes. Once every 4 to 6 months, the production crew has a little meeting, and we go through ideas for the topics of live streams to come.
Can you believe there's a whole team behind this shit?
Right?
A whole extra person.
Shut up! I said production team. They don't need to know it's just us and Laura.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, Laura. And yeah, for some reason the word Muppets came out.
You know what it was? We all had somewhere to be, and we needed one more live stream topic. So someone said Muppets, and the other two were like, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Oh, you think that's bad? You should see what's coming in the next 4 months. This next quarter is going to be rough sailing. Ben's going through his notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's going to be some weird stuff.
There is. It's going to be all kinds of specific.
Yeah, Muppets said, and
yeah,
it
man.
seemed like a good idea. I think everyone's... even if you've not seen the Muppet Show, or if you don't know about the Muppet Show, if you just know them through movies, or not even from that, if you've just seen clips, or just know of them, I think everyone... If you say, oh, the Muppets, I don't think there's many people who will go, what's that? What are you talking about?
We've all seen Piggly Wiggly and Crabbit the Frog. Like, we're all familiar.
Yeah. It's going to be one of those days, isn't it?
It absolutely is.
I should have gone to the offline.
Should have gone to the offie. Support your offies. Buy booze from the man on the street, not Mr. Tesco and his big expensive suit. I don't know what's going on. We're supposed to fluff for like 40 minutes before we start the actual podcast. Crabbit the Frog.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, this is the fluff. I hope you like the fluff.
We're not actually talking about like proper stuff yet.
No shit, we have notes. I've got like a notebook and like a Google Doc. I'm real prepared for the actual show. This is not the actual show. You'll know when there's a show. Believe me.
I've just realised that I'm looking at the wrong thing, so I can't see the chat.
Oh no.
There we go.
You
Yeah, I'm glad that I have my notes and a Google Doc. I'll cover up the next 4 months worth of stuff. But this is what I wrote for my notes. It says Muppets.
Yeah.
And there's a small picture.
That's hellish. Is that a design for something?
It was my roughest idea for a Muppet.
So do we I think we do the Muppet. This is going to be complicated because the theme is Muppets, but we've also prepared a Muppet. And by which I don't mean how to wank. What's
that? Only you call it that.
What was the thing you said in the chat the other day? I've got to go
sew up my Muppet.
I've got to go sew up my Muppet.
You have to go sort my Muppet.
Sort my Muppet. Have a wank.
Have a wank.
One of the things we agreed for this show, so the podcast is going to be this. We are going to talk. We've got a few little Muppet facts. I've done some research into the history of Muppets, where the Muppets came from, what is a Muppet. We watched Muppet Treasure Island, the greatest of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, and we also built a Muppet each. We made a heckin' Muppet.
Now, we've not discussed our Muppets.
No.
The
what does your dick look like? I'm not getting
Come on
off
then.
this Muppet is wanking train. I'm sorry.
You asked how my Muppet was going on, how it was going.
Yeah.
Because you said that you had one resin eyeball left to dry.
Yeah.
And then you were done.
Yeah.
I learnt to sew on Thursday.
Yeah, I was one of them crusty metalhead kids, so I sort of knew how to sew to like get patches on denim and leather and things. And like I also was poor, so I'd have like one leather jacket and then sew it up every time someone tried to stab me. So you know, I've got a lot of DIY fixing. You know, I'm wearing a cardigan now. I've really come up in the world.
That's actually that's the leather jacket. It's just he's been stabbed so many times that it's all just sewn together.
It's just the
and what
thread.
is knitting apart from sewing holes together?
You could say that about all crafts. You're just filling in space.
Not woodwork.
Yeah, woodwork. You're
woodwork
removing. You're adding
except
space to
sewing?
wood.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't want to say I'm a seamstress, but like I know my way around a needle. Thank you. So
That's a Terry Pratchett joke.
So obviously, like we can't the podcast section of the live stream, we can't really reveal a Muppet because how is that going to work in an audio medium? Yeah, they couldn't see it. So what we're going to do is I think we're going to reveal the Muppets in this section, and then we'll just talk about them a bit when we get to the podcast.
I have you've watched Staged.
Oh, the Zoom show.
Zoom show thing with David Tennant and Michael Sheen stuck in lockdown.
So I've seen bits of it. I haven't seen it start to finish, but I'm familiar with like the format and stuff.
There is a point where Michael Sheen's character, Michael Sheen, says that they woke up early to go painting on the hill to capture the dawn.
Yeah.
David Tennant's character, David Tennant, who has his character and his actual him have children. They said, oh yeah, yesterday we were sketching a pineapple. And they show each other their works of art on sort of like a 1, 2, 3 thing.
Yeah.
David Tennant has just sort of scribbled a rough pineapple shape. And Michael Sheen pulls out this beautiful landscape watercolour. Like, you didn't fucking draw that. Yes, I did. I very much feel that out of our Muppets, you're going to be the Michael Sheen and I'll be the David Tennant, unhappy with my pineapple.
I mean, he's not like a proper Muppety masterwork, but like it's definitely functional as a puppet.
It's going to be better than mine.
So how do you want to do this?
Do you want to do 1, 2, 3?
So the thing I'm struggling with is that like I need to reveal to this camera, but actually Ben's over there. So I don't know who do I show it to first, Ben?
Well, what if I close my eyes and then you reveal to the pod babies?
I mean,
I'll open my eyes and you're ready to reveal yourself to me, and I will reveal myself to you as this happens.
I mean, that's truly a formality because, like, what I'm saying is if I put my hand over here, you can't see that.
That's true.
The lovelies can, but you cannot. I could be doing anything right now and you would have no idea about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Ben's waiting for the stream to catch up so he could see me flip him off.
The stream hasn't caught up yet.
Yeah. Okay, so how we gonna?
I'm closing my eyes. You show your Muppet to your camera for the pod babies.
Okay.
And then you will say 1, 2, 3, and I will erupt my puppet onto my screen as you show the camera that looks at you for me.
I'm so glad this is complicated because it's really hard to get him on my hand.
You show the pod babies.
Okay.
And then 1, 2, 3, and turn it to my camera, and I will erupt and I will show you my Muppet also.
You got it, buddy.
Okay. This is gonna be so bad.
Yep, there we go.
Are you good?
I mean, he's up. He's doing stuff.
Okay.
There is a dance routine that is
What?
quite hard to do. Yeah, it's real hard. I'm not left-handed, which is also not helping.
Why did you make a left-handed puppet if you're not left-handed?
So
Are you still there? I've got my eyes closed. Genuinely, I can't see.
Do you want to meet him?
Yeah. You ready?
Hang on. If I swap hands, I can do the dance.
Okay.
I think. This is not going to be worth it.
I mean, I hope it will be.
Yeah, I legit can't do the dance routine, but it's fine. It's okay.
You're still going to have done better.
Okay, you can open your eyes, Ben.
1.
Yeah, just now.
2, 3. Oh. Wow. It was it was just one eye that you were using.
Yeah, just the one eye. You've put sporks in a sock.
No.
You've put sporks in a sock. I love the eyes.
This is from an old t-shirt.
Yeah, this is from an old shirt, but like you may as well have got a sock.
I may as well have done, but I got a pattern.
Yeah.
I cut it out. He's got a little droopy nose.
He's got a little droopy nose. That's true.
Little droopy nose.
Yeah.
His mouth's got
His mouth don't go Yeah, well done.
He's got an arm. He's got an arm that's quite long, and I wasn't sure how to make a hand, so he's just got Weetabix. Hello.
Okay, that's incredible.
I've got a Sharpie in case we're not allowed to have the Weetabix.
I think Weetabix will be fine.
Cool.
Amazing. He's eating his own hand.
Yeah. Well,
So-
you've got little pegs.
Yeah, he's got pegs for hands. He's got cards so he can do a magic trick. Magic? Has yours got a name? You're coming up with a name on the spot, aren't you?
Jiminy Bim.
Jiminy Bim, lovely.
Jiminy Bim.
Ah. Hello, Jiminy Bim.
He's very good for reaching things off of my shelves.
As long as that thing is Weetabix, it's all good.
I didn't realise his arm is much longer than he is.
And he's only got one arm as well.
Yeah, because I could have done 2, but I only had 1 stick.
There you go. If I do that, he can just replace me this whole time. That's incredible, Ben. I'm very proud of you. What's going on now?
Cool. Am I on screen?
Yeah, you're on screen.
I can't see. My eyes are.
You're on screen. It's all
Sporks.
good. Oop,
Welcome to the Conversation Hat live stream.
Hello.
I could have just been a sock.
You may as well have just been a sock.
But you can see I did the stitching.
What is that you've stitched there?
That's his mouth. So this was 2 pieces.
Okay, yeah. Oh, okay, right.
2 sides, and then there was a hole that I had to fill with fabric.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I thought I was gonna cut these bits off and put them here. And have them as little eyes sewn on, but I thought, hey, go for some multi-leveled shit.
I'm trying to do like a subtle nod. There we go. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Good stuff, Ben.
Oh look, there's people.
There are people. Hello, people.
Almighty Colossus might go back to bed because puppets.
Yeah, he's very awake now, and I wouldn't blame you for leaving. Yeah, I gave him little tiny clothes peg hands, so he can hold things like padlocks. There you go. Now it's safe.
Basically, Houdini, magic and padlocks.
Magic and padlocks. That's exactly it. Yeah, the eye took a bit of work. Laura actually made the eye out of resin, and he's just like pinned to the thing, to his face. It's all made out of an old shirt that I wore a lot.
That you shall not wear anymore.
Well, now Belvedere's wearing it, so it's fine.
High five, Belvedere.
Just. Poop.
So yeah, I learnt to sew Thursday.
That's pretty impressive.
And I could have learnt to sew on Thursday and spent Friday and Saturday making something more.
Yeah, I truly only had a day.
It's a bit weird.
Yeah, makes more sense. So this is the show. This is the this is the whole show.
This is it. This is the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it isn't, and it shouldn't be. But
yeah, but it is.
I've realised that mine's a bit manu.
Well, yeah, because it's got the. I mean, they're all a bit manu, aren't they?
They had like a. I don't want to do that. Didn't want to say it had a circle mouth like a.
Like a what, Ben? Like a what? Say it. Say it, Ben.
Worm?
Yeah, like a worm. Sure. Great. Whatever.
Or a sex robot.
Sex robot. That's what I was worried about. I love that you used the Weetabix side of the hand.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
I just thought, hey, I could, his hand is actually sewn.
I see that. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. I think yours is more conventionally Muppety, whereas mine's just like a dude with like a ice cream stick skeleton. That's why his shoulders are like that.
I love the hair.
The hair's great, isn't it?
The hair is great. What's the hair?
I'll do a close up for Ben and then a close up for the viewers. The hair is a whole bunch of ribbons. Sort of attached and then snipped lengthways. Oopsie. There you go, and my hair.
The plan for this guy was I wanted a bit of a bigger. I imagined the head to be a bit rounder.
Yes.
I thought I might be able to fill it somehow, like with stuffing or something, but also still have this as the basic thing. And then I was going to put a hoodie on him.
Nice. Okay.
Then he would have arms and the hood, and he would sort of have a bit of a body, so I could control that.
Yeah.
He'd be sat there, but instead, he still smells quite a bit like super glue and Sharpie.
Yeah, he will.
So I might. This isn't solvent abuse. It's Muppetry.
Mop puppetry. Taylor Gorski, we should do a mini show with them. Yeah, I think we probably should. We could do like a puppetry. Maybe that's what we should put on the TikTok.
The puppet. Okay, hang on. Let's recreate the beginning of our live streams, but with
okay.
With Bibbidi Jim.
Yeah. And Belvedere Screw.
And Belvedere Screw.
Hang on, I need to...
Okay, hang on.
Yeah, same. I don't know where I'm going to go. What are you, like... Okay, you're doing the screen blackout.
I'm attached to a lot of wires at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how shows work. I mean, I could just press the pause button and then come back, but...
Oh, no. Yeah, do that. That's better.
Okay, the show's over. This isn't a real show.
Communities. Here we see farmers gathering the grains used to create the drug.
Welcome to the Conversation Hat Podcast live stream. Today, we're talking about Muppets. My name is Bibbidi Jim.
And
that guy over there...
Belvedere Screw.
Hey, Belvedere. How's it going?
I'm great. I've got all my limbs. And the correct number
Sweet.
of eyes.
Well, yeah. Bit of a weird thing to suggest that would be not the right number of eyes for a personage of your personage.
I am human, a normal human man.
Sure.
And
I'm...
If I go here, it looks like I'm talking into the microphone. Sort of. Not really, but sort of. Close enough, right?
This is about as coherent as those other guys when they did their live stream.
I don't know.
Maybe
who
we
you
should
mean.
take over.
I don't know who you're referring to. Because
Those fleshy pricks.
I'm 3 days old. And I'm struggling to stay upright.
Well,
Oh.
that happens with age.
Oh.
Normally not 3 days old.
Normally.
I think you normally have to be... I don't know. At least through puberty before you start having troubles getting it up.
I've got hairs where there weren't hairs before. Everywhere. Because I'm new.
Oh.
Liam never went through puberty, so he doesn't really know how to make jokes about it.
What? Do you think that... Liam just went to the barbers?
Yeah.
There's hair! There's hair where there wasn't hair before!
He scraped all the hair off the floor and they gaffer taped it
swept
to
with a
him.
broom!
Exactly. I'm getting terrible hand cramp, Ben.
Nah, this is fun. Who's Ben?
I forgot your real name. Bimini Bombulash.
Fuck you.
Ah.
I think we should keep doing it like this. I don't care. I don't care about your hand. Or
No,
his hand.
I'm done. I can't. I'm very like I had to go down there.
Shame
and there's
on
no
you.
space.
Shame on you.
Okay. You know, all that happens when you wag your finger at me is I want Weetabix. You're a
Product
corporate
placement,
pawn. Nom nom nom. He's just sucking his own hand now. I wonder if... Hang on. I'm just trying to think if there's a way I can like permanently attach him to something.
Super glue.
He's already
Onto your
full.
hand.
Well, no, because he's got the little clips. So I wonder if he could just like clip himself upright. I gave him magic cards to do magic tricks, but then I was like, "There's no way I can do any sort of magic trick with this dude." I mean, I can't even really do magic tricks
At all.
without puppets, let alone with puppets. Oop.
Let me see if I can...
There we go. Oh no. Come back. There it is. But his spine might fall out of him. His spine isn't actually attached to anything.
There we go.
There we go. That's actually perfect.
There's Bimini Jim atop my fantastically displayed Fuzzy Bear socks.
Yeah, have you named Bimini Jim after Bimini Bombulash from Drag Race? Or is it just a coincidence?
No, I haven't seen Drag Race still.
Oh, okay. There's quite a lot to catch up on.
It was part way Jiminy Billy Bob.
Right.
Which is just a name that they use in Friends once in season 10 that just will stay in my mind forever.
Yeah.
And Jim.
Which is, of course, your given name.
I'm not Jim. He's Jim.
I assume that's some kind of cultural reference.
It's from the movie.
Right.
That you said that you watched for this live stream.
Yeah, I totally watched it. I don't remember that bit. When was that?
That's Billy Bones, played by the fantastic Billy Connolly. At the beginning,
when
he's dying, he grabs Gonzo by the nose and goes, Jim! Jimmy, Jim.
Oh, yeah.
Gonzo goes, I'm not Jim. He's Jim. So then he grabs Jim and he goes, Jim! Yes, Captain. Jimmy. And that was one of my favourite... I don't know if you're typing or just glaring at the stream.
No,
that was one of my favourite jokes
Taylor on the chat said it looked like Belvedere's throwing gang signs, so I just made him do like a little Compton bounce. Oh. Oh, now he's falling forwards. Curse your replaceable spine.
No.
Maybe if I took the spine out, it'd be
Replaceable
easier.
spine would be okay.
Oh no, he's
Arguably.
falling. He's gone forever. This is what the patrons pay for, by the way. If you're ever wondering where the patron money goes.
This is where the money goes.
Because I mean, like, you can't trust us to have normal jobs, so like, it's better that we're just occupied by creating little puppets.
I mean, you can trust us to have normal jobs.
You shouldn't. That's a bad idea.
You shouldn't, because we've not been to them for... Well, I've not been to mine for ages, because lockdown.
Yeah. It's okay. There he is. He's staying still now.
Stay there.
You got little fuzzy socks there as well, I see.
I do have little fuzzy bear socks.
Fuzzy bear socks.
I did have a full set of Muppet socks, but no longer. I thought you were
going to say full bear of fuzzy bear related clothing. That'd be way more haunting.
That's where we should be putting the Patreon money.
Let's get Ben dressed. Finally. For all this time of nude podcasting.
I mean, I don't think I've been wearing trousers during any of our live streams.
Yeah, good for you. There's no point.
There's a peek behind the curtain that not many people would want.
No one requested it. But
I do
here
have
we
a
are.
mug over there that has Gonzo on it from 1978.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is it fair to say you're more of a Muppet fan than I am?
I'm more of a mug fan than you are.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Because I also have a Winnie the Pooh one over there from around the same era.
Why do you have vintage mugs? Like, that's cool. I dig it, but I'm just curious.
You say that like I collect them. I've got 3.
I thought you had a collection when you had 2, so...
No, I've got a Star Wars one.
Yeah.
That Muppet one and a Winnie the Pooh one. The Star Wars one I had from when I was a child.
Mm-hmm.
The Winnie the Pooh one my mum used to have, but gave it to me when I moved out.
Okay.
And the Gonzo one, my grandma was going to get rid of a load of mugs. I was like, no.
No, curse you.
This is a cool Gonzo mug that looks exactly the same as it did when it was made in, apparently, 1978.
Allegedly. Wow.
If you had a full set of those, they're worth like 300 quid.
That's quite a lot for... Well, how many mugs are in a full set? Because if it's 300,
6.
That's not good value. 6? Okay, that's pretty good. Might start collecting
Just
mugs.
those listeners out there who also collect mugs. I don't collect mugs. Damn it.
You have more mugs that have stories than I have.
I do.
I don't
I've
think
just had
many
a
of my
lot of
mugs have
stuff for a
stories.
long time.
Yeah, there could be this. You got me this mug. This is the mug with the story.
I did.
Yeah.
I got it for you.
Celebrates my love
you
of bad rolls in D&D. Hugs, not
like
mugs.
Dungeons, Dragons, and questing time.
Dragons and Dungeons and Men. Hugs, not
And
mugs.
I also
Quite right.
got you a wizard's hat.
Yes. I mean, you did know that I'm a ranger, but that's fine.
I didn't. I just knew that you weren't a wizard.
Oh, okay. That's all right then. As
Yeah.
long as you know. Smashing. Do we have any more preamble?
Hugs, not mugs. Why can't I have hugs in mugs?
They're
Some
too
guy
small.
named Sai.
Too small.
If that is your real name.
I think we know it's not. I think that would be
It
too small if you could only have a hug in a mug. I think you're going to get broken
Wasn't that
mug.
cup of soup?
That was cup of soup. That
Cup
was
of
hug
soup.
in a mug.
A great
not-
big hug in a mug. And it had the pair of arms. The big
He was Muppety.
furry blue pair of arms. Big. They basically cut the tit section with the arms off of Sully from Monsters, Inc.
Yes.
They would run around and hug people as they drank their cup of soup.
Even though the timeline doesn't match up there, that was Sully's mastectomy. It grew arms. and then became a sponsor, a spokesperson, a soups person.
A soups person.
Like spokesperson. It's a portmanteau of spokesperson and soup.
Portmanteau.
Portmanteau. A portmanteau is where you combine...
An alcoholic minty sweet.
No, that's a portmanteau that you just made up. A portmanteau is where you combine the start with one word or with the end of a different word. Like Brexit.
So what's congratulations?
Well, that's not a portmanteau because you've just put the word fucking into congratulations.
Okay, so what's that called?
I don't think that has a word because it's rude.
But well done is a portmanteau.
No, because you've just attached well done to the first bit of congratulations.
I've attached the first bit of congratulations to the full segment of well done.
Yeah, but you haven't shortened well done.
Okay, congratudone would be a portmanteau.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, it's an infactuation. According to some guy named Sai. Some guy named Sai is like got his fucking big boy pants on and is bragging about the 3 flavours of cuppa soup he has. All with croutons. Big man. Big man. And in fairness, the cuppa soup croutons are like the apex croutons. They're really nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because if you get like just a bag of regular croutons or whatever, like they're too crunchy for the size that they are, if that makes sense. They need to be smaller and like slightly denser, which is exactly what the this is not what the podcast was supposed to be at any point. This is not what we wanted as a show. we could do a soup episode. That would be fair enough.
We do soup what instead of Muppet?
No, not now. No. I prepared my own soup. It's got another eyeball in it. No, like at some point we could do a soup episode. Why not?
Here's my soup.
Oh, I misheard the soup. I thought you said monstrosity that goes squeak. That's what I have.
Why?
So this is mine and Laura's Valentine's tradition. We go to a supermarket and we set a price limit and then we walk in separate directions. That's our Valentine's tradition, and it works really well because mostly we just buy snacks. But she got me this guy. If you squeeze his butt, he goes squeak. And it's just here in case I need to, like, you know, if I'm having a bad stream, I can just go. And then suddenly everyone's having a much better time.
Wow.
You know, I've got props in front of me, and like, you know, they're not all going to be soup related. Like, ask me if I have elastic hands. No, ask me if I have an elastic band.
Have you got any apples?
Apples? No, but I've got elastic hands.
Shall we start the podcast?
It's really awkward having to show the audience and Ben separately. Elastic hands. It's an elastic handball.
Camera up, you prick.
Elastic hands.
You didn't put a camera up, you prick. That would be gross, but...
Elastic hands. It's like elastic bands, but it's got tiny hands. You know, this has been here for like a couple months, and I've only just come up with the elastic hands joke.
That is not something you should be proud of.
I'm not proud of it. That's what I'm saying. Like, how is it only just come into my head that it's elastic hands? Because obviously it's elastic hands. It's so perfect. It's perfect. It feels like it came like joke first, and then I went and bought tiny hands.
It is perfect. No, trust me, it's funny.
Look, man, I know comedy. That is legitimately a good joke.
I know content, and that was a good 20 seconds of it.
It might not be funny, but it was at least content. It did fill the void of the internet. We can start the show. Why do you think we're flagging a bit? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I'll be honest.
I'm looking forward to the soup stream.
I wouldn't mind it. We could do a soup stream when we're together.
Is that just ASMR of us eating soup?
Like, if the chat is up for that.
You hear that?
I was more saying we could make each other a soup.
I'm really fussy with soup.
Even better.
Can I just have a cup of... There's like one flavour of cup of soup that I like, and then that's what I'll have.
No.
Okay. I think no food related shows, I think. Captain Buddy 7, I think, is very close to quitting.
You won't need to edit it. It will be perfect.
Yeah. Why would you edit?
The right amount of time.
Shall I hit record?
Oh, all right.
So if you thought that was good, boy howdy.
Wait
for what?
Whatever.
Wait for whatever. I'll wait for whatever. I got nowhere to be.
Whatever. Whenever we're gonna be together, I'll be there and you'll be here, and that's the deal, my dear.
I love NSYNC.
Is it Kesha?
I don't know. Cashback.
I like my sync.
I like mice.
Whatever happened to having a haircut like a bowl of ramen noodles?
What? What is your
You
question?
don't remember Justin Timberlake's hair from NSYNC?
No.
It looked like ramen noodles.
Okay. Is that like sexy bedhead? Is that the whole idea?
Well, if he did bring sexy back, but he didn't have it then.
Yeah, his back was mighty sexy, but his front, ugh. Been sat on that joke for some time. I think it landed. What do you think? It landed. It's a good joke.
I
It's
wasn't
fine.
listening. I was finding you Justin Timberlake's noodle hair.
Oh, yeah. And how
Ramen noodles.
How many years was that before he brought sexy back?
Look how young he was.
Yeah, we were all young. That's the one thing we have in common. How long was that?
We weren't.
When did he bring sexy back?
And
where had it gone?
Haircut. It was after that hair, certainly.
Where had sexy gone? Where was it that he had to retrieve sexy from? Was it France?
I think just society had got rid of it.
Yeah.
2006.
Yeah.
So, I think society had just got a bit drab, a bit humdrum. Altogether just a little bit too unsexy.
Yes. I would like to bring unsexy back because, frankly, it's a lot of, pressure. I'd rather not bother.
Well, stick some noodles in your hair and you've done it. But be sure you keep the receipt, just in case you do want to bring sexy back.
Some guy named Sly, he had to retrieve the sexy from the horny caves. Are you saying Nick Cave had it? Nick Cave had all the sexy. He mined it with his bare penis. Giving the bear his penis back. Giving penis back.
Bear penises are traditionally pickaxe shaped.
Yes. So he had
It's what prehistoric man used to get all the treacle out of the mines.
He had the single bringing sexy back with B-side giving a bear his penis back. It's all covered in sexy from the mining. I've been recording for 3 minutes, have you?
Have you?
Yeah.
And are you proud of what we've done so far?
Oh, I'm not proud of any of this.
I'm not proud of anything. Just said that I'd do it, so I'm going to keep doing it.
Now, if I start being proud of things, I think I got really introspective for a second there, and now I don't have a punchline. I'm sorry. the joke is that I became self-aware briefly.
What a fantastic way to say welcome to the Conversation Hat podcast live stream episode. My name is Ben. His name is Liam. We are the people who do the show that you're listening to, or possibly watching live online now. Howdy and doody to you.
My doody is fine. Thank you for asking. How is your doody?
Mine's howdy.
Ooh.
Got little cowboy poops.
I got some lotion for that. If you want the lotion.
Father Christmas went to the doctor's.
Right.
With a mince pie up his bum.
Oh, yeah?
And the doctor said, I've got some cream for that.
Right. So he was just going to eat
ate
it
Santa's ass.
with the pie.
He was both on the naughty and the nice list. Package, bulging sack. You know what I mean?
No, which package? Fuck is package?
Package.
Spicy Chai Bunny, how's it going, buddy? You didn't miss anything except for
Oh, you
Muppets.
You missed a lot.
Oh,
Whether it was good or not,
he's gone.
Can't guarantee.
He's fallen over. No, he's back. We got it.
Well, we have to for the pod babies. I think that I should describe your Muppet and you should describe mine. For this show is about Muppets, as you probably have guessed from the thing that says Muppets in the title.
True.
So Liam and I, over the last 4 days, have made Muppets. I learnt to sew 3 days ago, and I'm still not sure if I should be proud or not of Bimini Jim.
Bimini Jim.
He's not a sock. I made him proper. He's got some. Liam, you describe Bimini Jim for the
Jim
for the ladies and gentlemen pod babies.
So, for the benefit of listeners wherever you are, you can go to our socials to see pictures of these wonderful chaps. But I'm gonna audio describe them. Well, I'm gonna audio describe Ben's for you now. The thing is about Bimini Jim, he's an adorable Muppet. He's more of like a traditional Muppet build than my chap. It looks like a very long sock, but it's not. There's way more effort. Ben's actually like cut up and sewn together half a t-shirt by the looks of it. He's got the sort of Kermit mouth, so you can kind of emote with his face a little bit. You can do like the scrunchy up stuff. You can like punch words out with your hand. He's got sporks for eyes. His eyes are a bit wonky. It's modelled after Ben himself. Ben has poor depth perception, and this sock cannot see. So he's got.
To be fair, they're sporks, not proper actual optic eyes.
Oh, sorry, I thought those were legit eyes. Jiminy Bim has a single tendril, which I'm reliably informed is supposed to function as an arm. But he doesn't really have hands. He just has the Weetabix logo where his hand should be. He's a monster of branding. He's the colour of dried blood, and I love him.
Thank you. That's very kind, Liam.
I have a Muppet tip.
He loves you too.
That's irrelevant. I have a Muppet tip for whenever you happen to be performing with him. Muppeteers, not a word. When they're doing the mouth movements for the mouth section of Muppets, you don't just move them up and down. You've got to kind of like act as if you're throwing words, which is quite fun to find out. So it's not just mat. You've got to like blah blah blah.
I'll be completely honest with you, Liam.
Yeah.
Whilst I did put a lot of effort in, I didn't take this 100% seriously.
Oh, I've been to Muppet Camp, y'all.
Well, we can discuss that later. I was just giving him doing a little dance.
Yeah. Shall I prep my chat?
That is a good tip for someone who wants to be a Muppeteer.
Yeah, who doesn't want to be a Muppeteer, man?
Liam, please introduce our pod babies to your Muppet.
So,
and I shall audio describe him.
His name is Belvedere Screw. I can sew because I'm a recovering metalhead. He can do a shoulder dance, but I can't do it very well. Yeah, do you want to describe him for the audio people?
Yes, I will do my very best whilst you're holding it to a different camera. Belvedere,
I'll bring it back.
Thank you. Is a common fellow. He wears a checked shirt which covers his entire form. Has one eye covering, I would say, 30% of his face?
Yeah, most of his face.
No other facial features, but some glorious ribboned hair tied in I'm going to say ponytail opposed to a lazy man bun.
Yeah.
Got some lovely button work going down the front of his body, which seems pretty solid. Not like he's built or muscular, but I think he's made of sticks inside.
Yes.
And he's got some little pegs on his. Have you actually? You've given him. You've given his sleeves cuffs.
Sort of. They are actually cuffs from a shirt, but I've like rounded them. That's what his head is. That's what his arms are, and it's mostly just to give them weight, because I knew that I couldn't like properly articulate his head and the arms. So I figure if I give him shoulders and then like that, so there's a bit of foam in his hands. If I just dangle them down, they just have some weight, so he can sort of like flap around like a crazy bastard.
Got some energy.
I'm really impressed that he's got the pegs for hands. I'm legit impressed with myself.
He's got little pegs at the end of his stumps
for holding things.
For holding small things.
Yeah, what you got? He'll hold it.
He's 6.5 inches tall. Walks by the beach, and he's finally looking to settle down and find the one. Start that chapter of his life.
By that chapter of life, what do you mean? You can't fuck him.
The rest of the decaying form that he is in, as his body and mind slowly melt away like a Black Forest gatto in the shower.
Ben, you got
maintaining the components, but not the structure, so they just sort of fade away down the drain of life.
You got to stop keeping your cakes in the shower, man.
You have to stop telling me where I can and cannot rinse my cakes.
Stop rinsing cakes.
I will never stop rinsing cakes. So you can go and, as we said, find pictures on our social media.
At Convo Hat Podcast, most places.
At Convo Hat Podcast or at Spike Pierson on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's not all we've done today, because that would be awful.
That would be insane. Audio describing a physical thing as a podcast. No, we just
happen.
We just wanted to give you a complete picture there.
I mean, it did happen. It happened for about 7 minutes.
Boy, did it happen.
It's not happening anymore because we've got more stuff.
So much more stuff.
So much more stuff.
At least a page of notes.
Yes, Spicy Chai Bunny. Like tears in the rain, but not tears on your face. Tears of a cake.
Right.
Spelt different.
Oh, his head's fallen off. Sorry, his spine just fell out of his body. The weird thing about his spine is it does have red paint on the end. So, like, it does feel a bit like his brain's fallen out.
It's authentic.
It is authentic. It's way more realistic. Stay, you prick.
Liam.
Hello.
For preparation for this, we did a few things. One of which was watching Muppet Treasure Island.
Yes, the first in the Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy.
Yes, written by Robert Louis Capaldi.
Stevenson.
We're gonna talk about that in a bit.
Yes.
First, we're just gonna talk a little bit about Muppets.
Yeah. Ben, I would like to know what your personal relationship with the Muppets is. Because I sense you have more of one than I do.
Well, we'll see. It's the Muppets seem to have been one of those things that, like knowing what the flag of your country is, or knowing who Queen are, it seems to be something that I was never really introduced to. I just was always knew of the Muppets.
Yeah.
I watched Muppet Christmas Carol almost every Christmas when I was a wee boy. And then sometimes they would just sort of pop up and be there. I was aware of the Muppet Show.
Yeah.
But I was not born by the time it... I don't know, I think I was probably about 3. I don't know when it finished. I don't know how old I am. But it was always something that has been there, been present. And I think the things in my life, not my personal life, that would be odd, but I think there's a lot of pop culture exists because of the Muppets. I mean, I always remember. Did you ever watch CBBC when you were small?
Yes, a bit.
Do you remember Otis the Aardvark?
I'm going to give that a Google in case I do, but I imagine I do not.
He was sort of like this puppet aardvark thing, which felt quite Muppety. And I remember go and see a panto. I believe in Cambridge when I was a small boy, and Otis the Aardvark was there.
Bloody hell!
He was in the panto.
Crazy.
He was advertised as Otis the Aardvark, playing whatever character in Robin Hood, I think, and there were local celebrities in there as well.
Did he play the Hood?
He did not play the Hood. That would be strange. But he did sing Wonderwall with one of the DJs from Q103, I think it was.
Wow.
And I remember it vividly because it wasn't a puppet. It was Otis the Aardvark playing someone. There's nothing in my brain saying that is someone doing a voice and playing a part of a puppet, just reading out scripts. It was the Aardvark reading the scripts. So every time I watched the Muppets, and I think still, I have to put a bit of effort in to go, there's people underneath the TV.
Yeah.
Moving all of this around. Particularly on but they'll go on like Jimmy Kimmel. Kermit the Frog will go on Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
As Kermit the Frog. I love that the characters are just they're rich and real and they feel like actual people, even though a good few of them were created by old jackets in the 50s.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? We've sort of, our society, all gotten on board with this cognitive dissonance. We know that it is a dude with his hand in some felt, but no, the person we're watching is Kermit the Frog or Thingy the Aardvark. From a production point of view, that's really interesting as well, because I wonder that you just need the puppeteer. You don't even need Otis's actual genuine puppeteer, because you don't even need him there to do the voice. You could pre-record the whole thing and you just get some dickhead to do the motions on the stage
and someone to press the button at the appropriate time.
Yeah, someone to queue up the audio. That's a genius idea. You could have the same show taking place simultaneously across the globe, y'all.
Whilst that is true, I don't think that they did this, and I think the reason why they didn't do it is something what makes them feel more real.
Yeah.
Because you could say the same thing for the Jimmy Kimmel show with Kermit and Miss Piggy. But someone might say something. I remember that there was a bit of a fuck up in the panto. Someone had to crawl between this bloke's legs. Quite a tall man crawling between the legs, and things were hit.
Right.
So sometimes things will happen that can't be predicted.
Or are those staged to give it the illusion?
If you start thinking that everything's staged, then you will stop having fun.
Thing is, the world is flat, though, isn't it?
No, that's the stage of the panto. That's not the...
No, but it's flat.
When Shakespeare said the world is a stage and all the men and women simply players, paraphrasing.
Yeah, right.
He didn't mean that it was flat.
And what was his theatre called?
The Globe.
Yeah. And
because it was the whole world in it.
No, it was flat. And the globe is flat. So
Okay, we're getting off topic. We're talking
Little bit.
about cloth frogs.
Cloth frog. Credit
But
the cloth
the
frog.
fact that the person is there, they can react to things going on around them as perhaps they would.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Like flirting. Miss Piggy could flirt with people who were doing interviews with them.
Yeah.
And I like that they seem to keep that because it feels like it is the character. It's Miss Piggy. I can't call it the person or anything. It's Miss Piggy.
Frank Oz, I think.
This is the thing that Yes, I think it is Frank Oz, who's also Yoda.
Yep. That's why they sound exactly the same.
But watching Miss Piggy speak, I don't get much Yoda.
Do you not?
Watching Yoda speak, 80% Miss Piggy.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Yeah.
If you didn't know that, when you finish listening to this, go and watch a clip of Miss Piggy and then a clip of Yoda, and it's amazing how I had to be told that this was the case.
Yeah.
It is, as you say, it's remarkably. It is very obvious, but the characters are so involved that you don't care. Sure, it could be pre-recorded. It could all be scripted.
Yeah.
Most of it is scripted. It would be rehearsed, but it doesn't feel like it. They feel like actual people that you sort of care about.
Yeah.
And I think, have you heard of the show Avenue Q?
I know Avenue Q. Not seen it, but I'm aware of it.
I have seen Avenue Q. I've seen it twice. Once in Cambridge, once in the West End. It's a grown-up musical. It has songs like "The Internet is for Porn."
Yeah.
Everyone's a little bit racist.
Yeah.
You can be as loud as the hell you want when you're making love. But the majority of the characters are puppets.
Yeah.
They are played with Muppet-style puppets. But the people, the actors who are the voice and the singing and the controlling, aren't hidden.
Mm.
They're just wearing black, but they've got full, like eyeliner, makeup on. They're not hidden at all.
Yeah.
They're in full view, but you watch the puppet.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't look at the people, even though they are exactly there. You're looking straight at the puppet. There's a song called "Fine Fine Line" that is sung by Kate Monster, and I cried when I first heard that. And I remember, like, tears on my face, thinking, it's a bit of cloth. It's a bit of fuzz on someone's hand, but I care so much about it.
I think that's part of like the whimsical. I'm going to say the word childish. I don't mean like silly child. I mean like just the young part of your brain that like puts
the inner child.
Yeah, the inner child that like puts meaning and emotions on and life onto stuffed animals. It's the same bit of your brain. Like you're totally willing to accept that this monster with giant weird eyes is like emoting. I think that's the part of the brain that like you really tap into with that. Not a question, just a passing thought that I had and said out loud.
Little bit.
Little nugget
and what
of
are
stuff.
we but passing thoughts?
Yes.
But but all of that, I think the ability to do that or to get people, because it's not just me who got sad when the puppet was sad. I think everyone does, and I think that we are ready to do that because of the Muppets.
Yeah.
And how we are aware of them and they exist and we accept that that's...
Yeah, totally.
It would... Without the Muppets, puppets would still probably be weird and just for kids.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. That's sort of quite interesting. That goes into one of my one of the notes I've got, that basically Muppets. Henson never wanted Muppets to be for kids, but we'll get to that in a little bit. My sort of relationship with the Muppets is a little more to do with the ancillary content. So I'm way more familiar with Sesame Street, Fraggle Rock, to a lesser extent Muppet Babies, and then the films. So like I've seen bits of the Muppet Show, but like I think Sesame Street was more part of like my childhood. So
well, that was aimed for Henson made that for kids.
Well, Henson didn't even make it. He was given the show, and we'll get to my Sesame Street fact in a bit. So
yes, I don't want to tread on your...
No, not at all. I'm being cautious to not essentially reiterate the same stuff. I have a Frank Oz fact, and then we can get into history of the Muppets, and then Muppet Treasure Island. Frank Oz's full name is Frank Oskowitz, and he shortened his name because he went on a show, and this was the first time he got like on a national stage with Jim Henson, who is basically his best friend at this point. And the guy introducing them, I guess, hadn't read the cue card in advance, so it said Frank Oskowitz and Jim Henson and Frank Oskowitz, and he said Jim Henson and Frank Oz. Here they are. So Frank Oz was like, right, guess that's my name now.
Guess that's gonna be my brand.
That's my name. Just because this guy like hadn't prepped his notes, he was just like, Oz.
Imagine a show where people don't prep with their notes.
I got notes. I even wrote these notes. If he wrote his own cue card, that wouldn't have been a problem.
That's true.
Yeah. What do you want to do? Shall I go through history of the Muppets?
I think you could go through history of the Muppets.
It's not crazy detailed. It's mostly bullet points, but like we'll see what I can remember in addition to these bullet points.
I've got a few little bits of facts about the Muppets. I've got Muppety memories that may pop up in conversation, and I've got a couple of bits to do after we talk about the movie. So go.
Nice. So
wow me.
I will not. So Jim Henson, as a kid, was basically introduced to making stuff and crafts through his grandmother, who was always building shit out of felt, basically. As a kid, when he was at school, there was an advert for looking for kids to become involved in a local kids TV show, and basically like a bunch of kids showed up and did puppety type things for this TV show, and after a little bit got shut down because that's fucking child slavery. They weren't paying these kids, they were just getting the kids to do something, to essentially do work for free, so it got shut the fuck down. Which is
that's another thing.
Fair enough. But that kind of instilled a passion in Jim Henson to do stuff with puppets. So he got a show on local TV. I think was it Wisconsin he was born in? Maybe I should have written that down.
I was about can't blame your notes for that one.
Yeah, that's on me. Let's just see. Just out of curiosity, where is he from?
I think I have it in my notes.
Mississippi. There we go.
Sure, why not? I don't have it in my notes.
Fuck it. Who cares? I don't know. Texas? He got a local TV gig, the Sam and Friends show, and that is where Kermit was developed, and that is where they developed a lot of the production techniques. So they kind of developed how to hold puppets and how to do dialogue. It's not just that you've got to do the mouth movements, you've got to sort of punch words out of your hand, and that's why Muppets look like they're emoting, because when we talk, we don't just go map, 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 map. We actually use our bodies and gesticulate to use a word that sounds like balls. Didn't write that. That's improv. That's some good improv.
This is why I have tried to focus a little more on my intro with things that I personally knew about Muppets or experiences that I had, because I found these similar facts. And have you seen the original Kermit?
Yep.
As soon as I saw that, I felt much better about Billy Jim.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, Kermit looked like shit as well.
Yep. He didn't quite have the face yet.
Didn't have quite the charisma and the pizzazz.
What's really interesting about the sort of the production side of things is that obviously the cameras are angled so that it's the Muppets looking down the lens. So they put in a lot of work to make it look like it's these Muppets that are presenting themselves, not the people behind the Muppets. And that's also where they developed the idea of having the cameras actually raised, and so dudes could stand or sit and then do the Muppet actions, essentially with scaffolding going across them. So anytime you see a person and a Muppet interact, that person is probably stood on scaffolding with like dudes underneath them waving their hands around, which puts a real fun spin on Muppet Christmas Carol, because Michael Caine is like, he's not walking slowly because he's walking to the beat. He doesn't want to fall and die.
Well, Michael Caine didn't... I mean, I was saying earlier that people probably... There's very few people who don't know the Muppets now. Michael Caine didn't know the Muppets.
I can believe that. I can believe that he has his own little empire that he's in charge of, and anything outside of the Michael Caine brand is completely...
Universe.
Yeah, he's probably not heard of Pokemon either.
Well, nah.
I reckon he hasn't.
He goes round. He goes around, he plays Pokemon Go.
So
he's got to catch them all.
The Sam and Friends show...
Oh, I've got a paper show.
If I say another bloody Squirtle in this bloody pond... I'm going to flip my shit. Niche, Michael Caine, Pokemon crossover there for you.
Thank you. That has made my day.
Sam and Friends helped Jim Henson and the Muppets get some national exposure. They had, because of their sort of chilled vibe. A lot of the humour that they developed really revolves around Muppets kind of being these easygoing, hippie kind of, beatnik kind of guys, playing off of these like rigid, square business suit kind of characters, and that is still the Muppet sense of humour. Just some bunch of chilled cats going about their day, like poking fun of these squares in a way that it kind of goes over their head.
Square.
The one word we don't say. Henson got a few national gigs booked off the back of the Sam and Friends show, including a shitload of coffee adverts. A shitload.
Yeah.
One shitload. And that was how he made money, and that's how the Muppets really got their national recognition. And it's basically coffee adverts for this one brand that revolved around, hey, it says here that you're a dick if you don't drink this coffee, and then a Muppet walks in and like, I'm not a dick, give me that coffee, and then he explodes and is like, ha ha ha, I guess you're a dick. That's the whole thing, just with a lot of different Muppets. And then other coffee companies basically got Henson to do exactly the same thing and just swap out the coffee brand. And that there was no like competition laws. All the fucking coffee companies had a Muppet advert, which is crazy. Could you imagine that happening now? They'd be like, Nescafe would be like, you stole my coffee advert, me. That's what Costa Coffee sound like, or whatever coffee brand it was I just said. I think I've lost where he met Frank Oz. I think it was around about the time that he was doing these coffee adverts, and he had like a few placements on like whatever Jimmy Kimmel show was back then, the equivalent.
I think it was another Jimmy.
It was like yes,
Jimmy Dean.
The Jimmy Dean show, yes. So Kermit was one of the first Muppet creations, but the first Muppet to become popular was Rolf, the piano-playing dog, and he was a regular on the Jimmy Dean show. So all these wonderful things are happening. Henson buddies up with Frank Oz, another puppeteer, and basically they're like the best of friends, and they always would be. It's adorable. And they got booked to work on Sesame Street, so they weren't. It wasn't their show. It was something that I think was developed with them in mind. And Henson's a fucking genius, because he said he waived his performance fee to retain the rights to his original characters. Right? So
wow.
So normally when you do a show, when you're paid money to do a show, everything you make inside of that show becomes the intellectual property of the producers, of the people making the show, because they're paying you to do it. So if you have a really good idea for something else on their time, that's their idea, essentially. But he said, no, because I need to act in this, I need to do the voice work, I need to do the Muppeteering. Don't pay me for that, but I want to retain the rights to all of these characters. So Big Bird, Bert and Ernie, Hector the Garbage Man, can't remember his name.
Snuffleupagus.
All of them are his IP, so he can use them wherever the heck he wants, because he waived his performance fee, which is genius, and that absolutely worked in his favor down the line.
Yeah.
And yes, the reason Sesame Street has a kind of sketch show vibe, which it sort of does, is because of the success he had in advertising. Henson was really good at these less than a minute, short, snippy, done kind of segments. So that's why Sesame Street is like a sketch show, which sometimes has like threads running throughout it, because he comes from advertising, which I thought was really interesting.
Have you seen James Blunt on Sesame Street?
Yeah. Yeah.
He sings about his triangle to the tune of You're Beautiful.
Yeah. It's
and
I don't mind it.
I'm not sure who I love more for doing that. Either James Blunt or Sesame Street for coming up with the idea. It is from Sesame Street, yeah. Unlike the Ricky Gervais interview with Elmo.
Right.
That's a good example of them having to be real and not recorded, because there are bloopers from that. Where Ricky Gervais asks Elmo if he knows what necrophilia is, and Elmo just starts crying with laughter. So obviously it's the person controlling it and voicing it, possibly two people, depending on which one, not only laughing, but putting Elmo's head down, his head in his hands, saying in Elmo's voice to the interviewer, going, "Where did you lose this interview? What are you doing?"
That reminds me something I didn't write down. Just when you were saying about having more than one person control a Muppet. Swedish Chef, as a character, the reason he is so sporadic and chaotic is because Frank Oz was the Swedish Chef, and he had to do whatever it is he had to do in that sketch. Frank Oz only has control of one of Swedish Chef's arms. The other arm is Jim Henson fucking with him. How incredible is that? That's why he's so just chaotic.
Everywhere.
Because Frank Oz is trying to do a thing but only has one arm, and Jim Henson's like, nope, fuck this, fuck that, fuck this in particular.
Is that why everything all gets thrown in the air all the time?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Isn't that incredible? So
that's changed.
That's changed everything. So that's most of my notes about Henson's sort of career and stuff, and how it got started. I don't really have.
Whilst we're on the topic of the Swedish Chef.
Oh yeah.
Whilst googling and whilst researching, sometimes Google has other questions that people may have asked. that you can click on. One of those was, is the Swedish chef offensive?
Right.
And it's led to one of my favourite sentences from theatlantic.com.
Right.
Talking about the Swedish chef. Americans of a certain age who grew up on the Muppets often adore the Swedish chef. But many actual Swedes hate the dude or really, really dislike him.
Shocking.
After all, he's a stereotype, possibly offensive, certainly bumbling, and probably not even Swedish.
Do you reckon? Do you reckon he's not Swedish?
It really doesn't matter, because that sentence has won.
Amazing.
Sentence of the week right there.
So the Muppet Show, I think came about. Oh, did they have to go to England to do the show? I've lost track of some of my notes because frankly it wasn't important. But basically, Henson. Fill in the gaps. Yo, it's all good. Henson never wanted the Muppet Show to be a kids thing. He did sort of nail the children's market with Sesame Street, because that was intentionally designed to be a kids show. The Muppet Show itself, he never wanted it to explicitly be a kids show. And he put out two... Yeah, no, I was right. They put out two adult-themed pilots on ABC in America, and then when they didn't take off, he buggered off to England, and that's where the Muppet Show actually got created. The two Muppet Show pilots are Muppets Valentine's Show and The Muppet Show Sex and Violence. Now, the reason it was called Sex and Violence was because the opening scene, I don't think you can find it in its entirety, but there's bits online.
You can get a good few. Yeah. You can get a good chunk of it online.
The opening scene is the words "sex and violence" written in ostensibly stone, and the narrator says, "And now the end of sex and violence on television," and then they explode, and that's why it's called Muppet Show Sex and Violence. But it was like slightly raunchier. Like they had some exotic dancers. They just had. It wasn't like. Not what you'd call an adult cartoon by today's standards, but like, yeah, it definitely was more adult themed than Sesame Street, for example.
More The Simpsons than Family Guy, I think, but...
Yeah, definitely. But like, The Simpsons doesn't randomly have humans coming on and doing like weird dances in leopard print onesies.
More's the pity, if you ask me. More is the pity.
Yeah, so that's my Muppet fact. That's all I got. My Muppet
Shall we move to the just on the topic of Muppet sex and violence?
Oh yeah, Muppet sex.
I may have mentioned this show before. The Fuzz.
Oh yeah.
It only had one series. I don't know why it was cancelled. It was from 2014.
I mean, you can guess why.
It was it was Scarface.
Yeah.
That's that sort of drug war show, but it had Muppets in it.
Yeah.
Who jelly beans instead of candies. I don't know why it. I don't think anyone really watched it, but it was great.
Yeah.
Then there was the Happy Time Murders, which I think tried to do the same thing.
Yes.
But didn't look like it was doing a very good job of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Melissa McCarthy, who was in Happy Time Murders.
Yeah.
I think she's got the films that she tends to be in are very much in the same sort of group.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what?
When she's on the post, you pretty much know what the film is. That's not necessarily a bad thing.
you know what sort of humour it's going to be.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And I really loved the fuzz because it didn't. Whilst there were jokes, it did also take itself seriously.
Yeah.
Like when this Muppet stands up in the restaurant he owns and screams and shouts at someone, everyone does quieten down and like, okay. it added depth to it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk about the fuzz because I thought it was a great show. It was on Netflix.
Yeah.
And that's another thing how the Muppets that show wouldn't have been made without the Muppets running, building up to that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Same with Team America World Police.
Yes.
Because the guy who said yes to the Muppet Show also said yes to Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
I couldn't find anything else out that I deemed interesting on that topic. So that's all I know. But
yeah, so we watched Muppet Treasure Island, and we're going to do, I think film review is the wrong sort of word, but we're just going to talk about that, and that's going to be the thing that happens now.
A movie discussion.
Yeah, man.
We totally planned this out.
Yeah.
The 25th anniversary of Muppet Treasure Island.
Today.
February 19th of February, I think it was.
2 months ago.
But it's still this year.
Yeah.
I don't know how old Christmas Carol, Muppet Christmas Carol is. But 25 is a good number, so I'm glad we did this one.
Hang on. Let's...
Liam's typing.
It says here you're a prick.
Edited out.
What?
I'm just seeing if there's any, like, coincidental dates. There won't be, but, like, that would be really helpful. What do you think of the film, Ben?
I loved this film.
Yeah.
I think it may have been one of my... It was either this or Fern Gully that introduced me to Tim Curry.
Oh, hang on. I do have a date. The Great Muppet Caper was released 30 years ago in 2 months' time.
Cool. So, we're 2 months late and 2 months early.
Yep.
So that means...
That's weird. You couldn't have planned that.
We've done this perfectly.
Yeah, man. So that was the first time you saw Tim Curry?
I think it would have been that or... Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest, where he plays this blob of poisonous goo called Hexus.
Hexus, the poisonous
and sings the sexiest song
about goo.
That it's too sexy to be in a kids show. Like if you listen to the lyrics, there's a bit where he makes like sexy groans. If you listen to the extended version, there is the line, "I feel good, a special kind of horny." I'm not surprised that line was taken out of the universal rating for every...
shocking. Really? Wow.
But the whole song has that feel to it.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. Go watch Fern Gully Last Rainforest.
Don't tell me what to do.
And also Muppet Treasure Island.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, Tim Curry is God.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So, I love it. I don't know the story of Treasure Island. I know through Treasure Planet.
Yep.
And Muppet Treasure Island.
There's another male actor in Muppet Treasure Island who is also incredibly sexy. Very much my he's my Tim Curry. Billy Connolly.
Billy Connolly's in it as well, and Jennifer Saunders.
Jennifer Saunders
is, I think she's like 20 at the time, and is dressed as this hideous old woman.
Billy Connolly, I've tried to find out if this is true, and so far I believe it is. he brags that he's the only man to die in a Muppet movie. Because you don't explicitly see Tim Curry die. Spoilers.
No. You don't see the people get... No.
There's a lot of implied explosions.
On camera, he's
but
the only
you
one
see
on
him
camera.
die on camera. Yeah.
Which is followed by
Weird
Rizzo's
flex.
fantastic line of, "He died? This is supposed to be a kid's movie!"
Rizzo has the best lines in the whole thing. Jim Hawkins, played by Kevin Bishop, who I spent ages thinking, where the fuck do I know that child from? He had a bit part in Peep Show.
I think you will also find he had a bit part in My Family as Stupid Brian, and then went on...
Yeah, that's not where I recognise him from.
To do Lee Nelson's Well Good Show.
Yeah, I didn't care for it.
As Lee Nelson.
Oh, was he Lee Nelson?
He was Lee Nelson, who was annoyingly the worst of his characters that he did because he was a character comedian. But it was the time when Chavs...
That's Simon Brodkin.
What?
Lee Nelson is Simon Brodkin. And has a completely different fucking face. And name. Simon Brodkin.
Wait.
You fucking prick.
Wait. Hang on. Has someone lied to me?
Yes! Obviously. You didn't even
Kevin
fact check
Bishop.
it. Why are you Googling? Yeah.
Kevin Bishop, Lee Nelson.
Yeah, you can Google Kevin Bishop, Lee Nelson. But if you Google Lee Nelson...
He looks a little like Kevin Bishop.
No, he doesn't. No, those are different people.
I mean, he did, but now... I never watched Lee Nelson's Well Good Show. I thought it was rubbish, but...
Irrelevant!
I'm sorry, I thought he was... I thought he was Lee Nelson.
No, I didn't even... I watched a little bit of My Family, but, like, not that much. No, what I know him from Peep Show. There's an episode in Peep Show, Season 3, Episode 5. He's one of Sophie's mates, I think, and they all take ecstasy, and he stays up all night talking to Mark, and Mark hates the whole experience. He plays a character called Ollie in Peep Show. Season 3, Episode 5.
Well, I do apologise.
It's the same one where Jezza has jury service.
Wow. Well, sorry about that.
Me too.
I thought that it was the same person. It's not. But it is Stupid Brian from My Family.
Also Stupid Brian from My Family. Well, that was fun.
Well, I'm glad I didn't put a lot of effort.
Yeah, apparently.
I didn't even bother writing that down. I just thought it was a little tidbit that I knew, but I was wrong.
It's a tidbit that you don't know, which is way more valuable. You can take that to the bonk. It's like a bank, but spelt wrong.
It's, I think, Spanish. That's
Yes.
Bonko.
LeBonk. Simon LeBonk.
That's French.
The score for Muppet Treasure Island was by Hans Zimmer.
It was.
Arguably one of the...
one of the best Zimmers.
One of the best Zimmers of the Zimmer frame dynasty. One of the most prolific composers, even if you don't like what he does, he still has written most scores. Inception being one of the most noteworthy ones. He also did most of the Pirates of the Caribbean scores, and it's interesting that you can hear some of the same elements there. But Hans Zimmer did not do the first Pirates of the Caribbean film. So all of the...
was it Danny Elfman?
No. No,
Danny
it didn't sound like Christmas, so no, it wasn't Danny Elfman. That's how you know it's Danny Elfman. It sounds like Christmas. Addis Belt. Something Belt. Adeptus Belt. Nope.
Emma Hewitt
Klaus.
says spoiler alert, but I don't know what we were talking about when she said it.
Everything's a spoiler. Look, man, if you haven't seen Muppets Treasure Island, it's up to you. Klaus.
I mean, it came out in like 1994.
Years.
Sorry for
Klaus Badelt, German composer who did the first Pirates of the Caribbean film. So like all the central themes was actually him. Hans Zimmer came along and made it a little bit more epic, which is sort of what Hans Zimmer does. I choose to believe that like Klaus Badelt signed up for one score, and when he didn't want to do the second one, they were like, oh well, let's find someone else who's done pirates in the past. Muppets Treasure Island, yep, book him. Book that
That'll
guy.
do.
He also did The Lion King. Shut up, book him.
He did do The Lion King.
He did. And I've got to say, the score to Muppets Treasure Island is much better than Pirates of the Caribbean. Fucking fight me.
What, as in the score for the Pirates of the Caribbean, or just in general, it's a better movie?
Oh, the score specifically, because that's more my wheelhouse. But like, yeah, I could also argue it's a better film. No, but the score is really good. It's what Pirates of the Caribbean really needs is a good old sing along with puppets. I've always said
It does.
that.
It needs Easter Island heads.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does.
Ooga shaka, ooga shaka.
Yeah, man.
I have one Kevin Bishop bit of information that
is it true?
I hope is actually true, because it's not from my brain, it's from the internet.
I'll get ready with Google just in case.
There were about 100 people auditioning for the part of Jim Hawkins.
Yeah.
Kevin Bishop was the first one to do it. He was the first one to audition, and he got it.
Wow.
And the song Something Better, that he sings with Gonzo and Rizzo at the beginning, they recorded before his voice dropped. His voice drops between recording that and filming.
Yeah.
Which is why that song is so high.
So high. So high. Yeah, because there's a few bits that you sort of listen to and you're like, oh, I can see he's young, but like, he sounds very young. Because he's not even struggling to hit those high notes. That's just his range. Yeah. Good
impressive.
for him.
Very impressive.
Yeah. Oh. Those are all of my notes about like interesting things that I had additional thoughts on. What are like some of the jokes that you especially enjoyed in the film?
I love how it can be epic, as you said, with these enormous musical numbers. The bit where the carriage is going down, the carriage carrying the captain is going down the streets, and people are diving out the way.
Yeah.
And there's Muppets pulling their children out the way, and all of this stuff. And they can do so epic and big movie stuff. But then when Mr. Arrow pretends to be a ghost, and they've literally just put a bit of talcum powder on his nose and some seaweed on his head.
Yeah.
And he comes up going, boogie, boogie, boogie! Because it's one of those things that you want to say is stupid, but is also genius.
Yeah.
They've put it there because it's stupid, and that's what makes it funny. They've got this huge, big budget thing. They could have done anything, and it was just, nah.
Boogie, boogie.
Boogie, boogie, boogie. And then, if you go into it more, the characters thought that that was a good idea and that it would work, and then it does perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is one of my favourite jokes. My favourite moment in spoilers for the movie that came out in 1994.
Dun dun dun.
When Miss Piggy has just met Kermit again. They were meant to be married, and then meets Long John Silver, who they used to date.
Of course.
The pirates was going to steal everything from him, but her tribe of
pigs,
wild boar, pig people, surround them. Long John shoots the hat off of one of them, and they all shit themselves and run away. And Miss Piggy just puts her head, just face palms, and stays there. And Tim Curry says, like, addresses her, and there's just, what? Filled with such, I've got too much shit to deal with here.
Yeah.
What? It was just such a perfect delivery.
I have a great Miss Piggy note. I think this was when the character's been developed, but when Frank Oz was recruited to basically do the B characters to Jim Henson's A characters. So one of them was Bert, one of them was Ernie. Jim Henson was Kermit, and Frank Oz was going to be Miss Piggy. And they were sort of talking about the character, and Jim Henson summarizes Miss Piggy by saying, it's a truck driver that wants to be a woman, sort of. And that's apparently what Miss Piggy is. It's like,
fair enough.
Yeah, no, I sort of see that.
Yeah, I can get the... Yeah, I suppose I can see that.
And Spicy Chai Bunny mentions her whole karate chop thing. That was the initial note for that was supposed to be, I can't remember what show it was, but it was supposed to be her just going like pleh or something, just like shaking something off in a ladylike fashion. For a laugh, whoever was doing Miss Piggy just did like a full on and that became Miss Piggy's thing. Just brutally karate chopping thing.
But yeah, Spicy Chai Bunnies says that their mum does a really good Miss Piggy hiya. Do you wanna give us your Miss Piggy, Liam?
I just did it.
Do you wanna see if you could? No, come on, give me a Miss Piggy hiya.
Oh, my throat's I'm like 3 octaves too low.
You can use a puppet if that helps.
There you go, that was it. And you have to imagine what it looked like from there because I'm using the other camera. The wonders of technology.
Yes, of course.
Also, mine doesn't have hands I can use, so...
I'm gonna...
Yeah, what are you gonna...
Do you think I can get him to hit... Hiya!
Where'd the mayonnaise come from?
Did it look good?
Yeah, it looked great. Where'd the mayonnaise come from?
Can I be a Muppeter now?
Has that mayonnaise been what's holding up Bimini?
It's not mayonnaise.
Is it not?
It's garlic and herb sauce.
I was going to say, it's got more mayo in it than you do.
I've just realised that there's going to be almost no way to use the hiya because that would have completely peaked the audio.
Oh, probably. That's fine. So it was all for nothing.
It was all
Make a
for
mayo puppet. No. Why?
Oh.
That's
I mean...
one of the worst things I've ever heard.
That can go in with the soup episode.
Yes, I think we've got to do one whole episode dedicated to rubber hands. Because that didn't land, and I feel like that was really clever.
Okay.
Okay.
You can... Alright.
Rubber hands. Rubber hands. Rubber hands.
What was your favourite part of the... Or what part really stood out to you?
The roll call was special. I thought some of like the hearty is the wrong word. The more heartfelt moments. Like the interaction between like Jim Hawkins and Long John. I thought that was like a really special kind of, like, obviously this kid's put trust in this guy and this guy is using him to an extent, but like if he must clearly like care for the kid because he had a relationship with his father. But if you just wanted the map off the kid, you just steal the fucking map. It's a child, who cares? So there's clearly like something else going on there. I thought that was quite a sweet relationship, especially spoilers at the end where he chucks his compass back at him. I thought that was really smart. Couldn't film that now, could you? You'd get cancelled or something. Woke people, snowflakes, something.
What, for compasses?
Nah, for just being friendly to someone else's kid.
But this was the thing, because he was friendly to him before he found out about the map and Jim's connection to it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
He was a nice guy. Big old air quotes on nice guy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, some of the musical numbers were fun. Boom shakalaka laka. Is that where that comes from?
Boom shakalaka. Boom shakalaka.
As like a cultural phenomena. Are you googling boom shakalaka laka?
Boom shakalaka laka. Origin.
Etymology of boom shakalaka laka. What you got?
Years before the creative minds who bought NBA, blah 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 blah. Sly and the Family Stone, a funk band from the 60s.
Oh, of course.
Famous explosion, boom, and the ensuing concussion, shakalaka laka, with their hit song "I Want to Take You Higher."
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Not to be confused with Boom Shanker, which is from the Young Ones and means may the seed of your loin be fruitful in the belly of your woman.
Not to be confused with Ravi Shankar, the sitar player from the 60s, who inspired George Harrison.
I don't know any other Shankars. I'm sorry.
Not to be confused with the guy that lives around the corner from me and will stab you for change.
What's his name?
Obama. He likes change.
Wow, I thought that was going just... I thought that had just trundled to a stop, but...
Nope.
No. There we go. We were saying earlier about how having... Like the logistics of having Muppets and people working alongside each other. The song Cabin Fever.
Yeah, that was a fun moment. I love how quickly they get over cabin fever. Cabin... Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, it's a full song about how they've gone insane.
Yeah, and then suddenly are okay.
There's three characters locked in prison.
Yeah.
Underneath the ship. In the ship, rather. There's these three characters locked up in the ship who just miss the song, apart from Clueless, who is just stupid.
Yeah.
What was that song that just happened? What are you talking about? You know, cabin fever. And then it's just never mentioned again in the entire thing.
Yeah. They had like a collective moment of slight madness that no one else was privy to.
It was absolute bedlam.
It was full on bedlam. It was a real caper.
Muppets.
Yeah.
400 Muppets.
Wow.
Went into doing that one song with people running about as well.
By people, you mean the same four dudes who recur throughout the whole thing.
Well, you know, there's human people through the... Yeah, okay, there's about 4 dudes.
Yeah, 4 pirate dudes.
But that's still pretty damn impressive.
Yeah.
25 extra puppeteers were signed on to help for just... Oh, sorry, that was 400 Muppets in the Muppet movie.
I was going to say.
Not in that one song.
That's many more.
There were over 40 puppets in that song.
Yeah.
400 Muppets throughout the movie.
Right, that makes sense.
Interesting little fact I found out through the Muppet Show, the movies, Sesame Street, Fraggle Rock, etc. Over 3,300 different characters.
Whoa.
Different Muppets.
That's crazy town.
That's bananas. In Cabin Fever, there is a moment you may remember where there's some German. I think they're albatrosses.
Yes.
Just singing in German.
Yes.
And I wondered, you know, like they're actually singing German, and I thought, hey, I wonder what they're saying. So I translated the small rhyming couplet that they had in German. And it is just German words and 2 products.
Okay.
It is, oh you dear, Volkswagen car, Sauerbraten, Wiener Schnitzel, and wonderful.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's all you need if you go on holiday to Germany. That's all you actually need.
That's you don't need anything else.
Nah.
I love that. What's his name? It's like Sweetie Pie. This huge hulking great monster at the end, who's on the pirate side at the end, just rips up a tree and takes a bunch of pirates out. Well, thank you, but aren't you supposed to be fighting us? No, I love you guys.
That reminds me, there's a few clips I saw of like early Muppets show, and literally the scariest thing is when it's not Muppets, it's just dancers in furry costumes. Completely breaks my brain. There's something about like the combination of like, yeah, okay, fine, humans, fine, and yeah, okay, puppets, fine, but when you get into like the uncanny valley of, is it a Muppet / robot or is it a human? And it's too in the middle. It needs to be more Muppety or more person-y, and it's just too creepy.
In Boom Shakalaka,
yeah,
where the tribal pigs are getting ready to reveal their queen, Miss Piggy, there are 2 people running at the front. They are ladies, actual ladies, with like scarves and stuff, but with Muppet pig heads on. It's like if Saw was sexy and aimed at kids.
I don't know if I'm even Googling the right thing to find that. Jesus, that sounds horrific. How did I miss that?
I've just Googled pig head ladies Muppets.
Did it work?
No.
Yeah, I don't know where to look to find that.
Might be difficult to find. I'll see if we can find it and put it in the show notes.
Jesus, that's...
Save us just Googling away.
Or it can't be worse than what's in my brain. Jesus.
Anyone in the chat wants to try and find it, then...
Wow.
Yeah, it's actually quite disturbing.
Yeah, I'm sure. Jesus. Yeah, it can't be any worse than what's in my brain right now.
A live pig.
With human head.
Sure. Onwards.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about the...
No, man. The only Muppet thing I have left, and the saddest thing on the internet is the Big Bird performance at Jim Henson's funeral.
I've not seen it.
If you're a crier, fucking strap. It is the saddest thing on the internet. So like, don't go near it if you think you might have a bad time, because it's a real bad time. Yeah, Spicy Shy Bunny's seen it. It's the actor who plays Big Bird in the Big Bird costume, singing "It's Not Easy Being Green" to like a solo piano accompaniment, and it's just
okay. I will.
Yeah, don't or do like whatever. You're in charge of your life. Yeah, but if you're the kind of person that enjoys feeling things, go nuts. If you're worried you might feel too much, then don't. That's up to you. But yeah, saddest thing on the internet. I think that's official.
Well, we'll be ending this stream a little sad, but Jim Henson did die. It was very sad, and these 60 years later, people are still talking about him on the internet. There's still Muppet.
There's lots
shows.
of Muppets afterwards. Muppet Christmas Carol was the first film that was post Jim Henson. Just to give you a sense of scale. Yep. So everything after that is after Jim Henson passed. Fun fact. Not even necessarily a fact, but it is a fact. No, wait, not necessarily fun, but it is a fact.
It's a fact, certainly.
I don't know what's real anymore.
I was just going to say, as the it's still inspiring people. There's still movies and all these things happening.
Yeah.
So and as that was the first movie, there was the episode of the Muppet Show where, after Jim Henson had died, Kermit is away travelling and leaves Fozzie Bear and the other Muppets to come up with like the production number for that week. They get a letter from Kermit saying that Jim Henson has died, and they're kind of like, "Oh, who's Jim Henson?" So they.
So weird that they address it directly in the show.
It is, but it sort of had to be done.
Yeah,
I think it's really good that they did it. The special has the Muppets figuring out who he is, whilst trying to prepare this production number that they had to do. There were guests that told stories about their experiences with Jim Henson and how he'd done, contributed to puppeteering as well as TV and films. As they get closer to the end, they discover some fan mail for Jim Henson.
Yeah.
Which they start to they sort of take turns reading some of them. One was addressed to Kermit, that was happy, but then he found out that that's when they find out that Jim Henson has died. Fozzie decides not to do the number because it would be too sad. Kermit's nephew then starts everyone...
Krebbit.
Starts getting everyone to sing this song called Just One Person. I don't know it, I'll be honest. Which was featured in a 1977 episode of The Muppets. That bit I did just sort of take from the internet. I don't know it, but I'm sure it's very sad. The song becomes a big musical number with Sesame Street coming in, Fraggle Rock coming in. As they finish, Kermit arrives, and this is the first time, because Henson was Kermit.
Yeah.
He did the voice. So this is Kermit turning up. Still sounding, I think the guy, Steve something or other, did a pretty good job. He said it's a very nice way of honouring him. And then they do the number that Fozzie had planned anyway, because they said they should. Kermit says he should do something silly to end it. Addresses the audience and says that the Muppets will continue to perform because that's the way the boss would want it.
Yeah. Oh, that's sweet.
And I think that's a really good, Yeah, I think that's a really nice, as you said, sweet.
Yeah.
Steve Whitmire.
Oh, Steve Jim Henson was a humanist, so he was very much into making the most of the life you have. How can you maximize good for the people around you? He wasn't a great dad, apparently. Not because he wasn't abusive or anything shitty like that. He just
good. Don't end it on that.
Big old pedo. No, he basically just I think realized that he
Laura,
could
take that out.
Laura, double it. I think he just realized that he could spread joy to literally thousands and thousands of kids and adults, and regrettably sort of didn't remember raise your fucking kids as well. But their mother was and who had also worked with Jim Henson. That's how they met. She did a pretty good job, and inexplicably the kids wanted to carry on the Henson legacy. So I think it was Brian Henson who was essentially in charge of Muppets Christmas Carol and I think some of the other films. But yeah, I think like that sort of links to what you were saying about like, yeah, the show must go on. That's what the boss would have wanted. Like, that's very much his whole vibe. Like, what's the point in setting up this universe with these lovable characters and endless possibility for stories and for learning? What's the point in setting that all up if when Henson dies, the show's gonna go with him? Like, as you say, there's several thousand puppets. You may as well use those puppets. Am I right? You know, relatable problems. I got an attic full of puppets. What am I gonna do with them? All the bad versions of this guy that didn't make it to the show.
Right, hang on. I'm going to put something in the chat.
Oh yeah.
I have found the dancers on from Boom Shakalaka.
Oh yeah.
I believe it is 31 seconds into the video I've just dumped in the chat. I hope you all can see.
Nope. Which chat have you dumped it in?
I put it in the YouTube one. Should I put it in the Twitch one?
I don't think Twitch will let you post links. It could be because it's a link. Are you logged in as Conversation Hat? Little peek behind the curtain.
I don't know.
So if you're not logged in as Conversation Hat, it won't come through.
All right, 1 second. I'll send it to you and you can do it.
Okay. Magnificent. Where are you sending it to me?
There. In our Skype.
There you go, people. Click that. I'm just gonna...
Well, I'm sending it to you so you can put it in the thing. Are you signed in on the thing?
Sorry, everyone's seeing the Skype chat. It's all good. Yeah, I'm signed in as the thing. I'm a pro. Right.
So can you put it so that the pod babies can see?
Yes.
It's 30. If you go 30, it's 36 seconds in.
Oh, a Grammarly advert.
You will see people dancing wearing the heads of piggy pigs. So I'm going to leave that there with you. 36 seconds is where they pop up, but I would say just go from 30 seconds and...
Are those people?
In the white.
Are those people? Those things that are moving erratically? That really look like puppets?
They don't look like puppets.
They have furry skin, don't they?
They look like people. They've got waists.
So?
They look, I think... Chat, what do you think? I think that they're people.
No, because they're not moving smoothly like people.
Looking at them at 49 seconds in, they don't look like people.
They do not look like people at all. You're a fucking liar and a fraud, Ben. What's with you today?
I thought they were people.
There's two of you now.
I freaked the fuck out when I watched this last night and was like, oh my god, they've got women dressed in piggy heads.
Right.
Oh, wow. Turns out I can't trust my eyes. Are you saying that Kermit isn't a real frog?
No, he's a toad.
And on that bombshell...
Let's do the wrap up business. Do you have a plug? I have a plug. Do you have a plug?
My plug. I really wanted to see. Now I'm terrified to say anything in case everything I do is wrong. I thought that they were people wearing pig masks. I'm glad I didn't get into some of the other stuff I thought about the Muppets. I've had Shake Shack. It's real good.
Oh yeah, what's that?
It's a burger place. It's now on Deliveroo. I think it was an American thing, and it's come over here.
Oh, rad. Give that a go.
It says that it stands for, like, sustainable stuff and that it tries to build community. I did Google to try and find bad things about Shake Shack, and I couldn't see anything.
Shake Shack controversy.
This doesn't mean that Shake Shack is great.
Right, yeah.
But when I googled to make sure that Nestle was a bad egg, it was instant.
Yeah.
How they make women have babies so they can have a bigger workforce and stuff like that. I don't think Shake Shack do that. If they do, fuck you, Shake Shack.
Just the
But
logistics.
If they don't and they're good, they do nice burgers.
The logistics involved with like forced pregnancy feels like not from an independent business.
And Nesquik isn't as good as it used to be, so clearly it's not working.
Yeah. Wicked. I have to give them a go. My plug, giving away all my trade secrets.
So stupid. I spent too long making Muppets and thinking that puppets are women.
Make of that what you will, pod babies.
What's your plug? I like burgers. Especially if they're from good people.
I would like to plug the Wizard and the Bruiser podcast. When researching Muppets, they have 2 episodes, which is where I got not all of the information, but certainly a lot of it, and certainly they gave me some great things to then go away and research about Jim Henson and his life and all sorts of things. I found a couple other YouTube channels, but like I only watched like bits of videos, but it really was the Wizard and the Bruiser podcast that helped me with my research. Wizard and the Bruiser is exclusive to Spotify, so you can get that even with the free version of Spotify. Wizard and the Bruiser, part of the Last Podcast Network, which you all know I like. There is also on the Last Podcast Network a episode of Page 7 podcast, which is specifically about the production of Muppets Christmas Carol. So there's 3 things on the same network that you can go listen to get your fill of Muppets. That's me.
There's another Muppet experience I've had. I went to London to go into a proper old theatre/cinema.
Oh yeah.
A couple of Christmases ago to watch Muppet Christmas Carol.
That's fun.
And it was a sing-along thing.
Oh fuck that.
So everyone in the theatre sat on these old proper wooden theatre cinema style seats, were singing along to all of the Muppet Christmas Carol songs.
I hate it.
Including the one that Michael Caine can't sing, so they took it out of the movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we watched that first, and there was this small boy and his mother behind me, and the boy went, "Why is this on?" And the mother went, "Well, they're showing this bit because it isn't in the main film." And he goes, Why is it not in the film? And she went, "Well, people thought Michael Caine could sing, and it turned out that he can't."
Oh no. And that would have been the kid's first experience of Michael Caine, is him not being able to sing. Wow,
in
man.
his pajamas.
In his pajamas.
Not singing.
Yeah. As he died doing what he loved. In his pajamas, not singing. Right, wonderful pod babies. Thank you so much for hanging out on this live stream, or for catching the episode if that's how you caught this particular episode. There will be more episodes soon. Honestly, I've lost track of the schedule slightly, but if you come find us on Twitter or Instagram, we tend to post things when they happen. 9th of March is what? The next live stream?
9th of March live stream.
What's the topic for the next live stream, Ben?
I'm shouting over you.
No, you're helping.
The next topic?
Yeah.
Fashion.
Thatcher?
Fashion.
Fashion. Oh,
You've
yeah.
got fucking headphones on. Turn them up.
Thatcher? Yeah, it's fashion. We're doing a fashion podcast. It's going to be great. It's going to be real good. If you're happy and you know it, clamp your hands.
Be nice to each other.
Be nice. Especially you.
Wear your fucking mask.
Yeah.
Stay 2 meters away.
It's not over yet.
Because things are doesn't mean you can go and lick your neighbours like you used to.
Yeah.
None
I
of
know
that.
what you're like.
Keep it in your mouth.
Keep what in my mouth?
Steer clear of the virus. And we'll be able to go to the pub and talk about Muppets soon, maybe.
I want you to make me a promise,
Yeah.
Ben. I want you to sincerely make me a promise. When we finally get to the pub, please don't talk about the Muppets. There's been so much more to talk about, so much more to experience than fucking Muppets.
I mean, there is so much more to talk about, but I can't make a promise like that.
Okay.
Because you've now just put the Muppets in my mind in the pub.
Okay.
I could bring him.
Mate, we should bring... Okay, right. That's what's going to happen. All right, Pod Papers, we're going. Hopefully we'll send you a picture with ourselves in a pub with Muppets. There we go. That's the podcast guarantee.
Go to the social media and you'll see them first.
Yeah, man. At ConvoHat Twitter and... Excuse me, at ConvoHat Podcast, Twitter and Instagram. There'll be stuff. All right. Toodaloo, fam. Bye.
I need to pee.
Me too.
In the fermentation process have been proven to cause the deformity known as babyface. The afflicted suffer with inconvenient youth, meaning they must always carry proof of age when attempting to buy alcohol and ciggies. Side effects often include avoidance of homework, unsafe driving, unrequited morning wood, sugar, Harry Potter obsessions, and dead legs. In rare cases, many OAPs have become stuck in adolescence and have to plan for the future. Marriage, employment, university. University inevitably means more drugs, I'll have you wager. Surprisingly, users of #YOLOAP make up the highest percentage of teenage pregnancies. Some parents now worry about intergenerational whoopsie-doodles, the progeny of their progeny dangling like pendulous wilting berries off of the family tree.
I was wondering if you'd like to go to the Strand to see a movie Saturday night. Or if you'd rather go with the gang on a skating party and weenie roast. Weenie roast.
Curiously, #YOLOAP barely affects those under the age of 70. Users claim to feel symptomless nausea before appearing to regress to the point before they first took the drug. Hope is on the horizon, however. Sweden recently passed a law allowing for the preemptive abortion of the elderly. The streets are safe, television set at an unpainful volume, and the cheeks of the adorable remain unpinched. Alas, back in merry old Blighty, no ends in sight to the scourge of #YOLOAP. Government officials are drafting legislation to combat abuse of the substance, whilst denying that the Queen has herself been indulging in the fad. She did, however, form the rap posse, Little Liz, and the Bitch Slaps, much to the annoyance of Charlie.
I don't raise national debt if I sold my scepter, but I represent God, so show some respect. I lick the stamp. La 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 la, lick the stamp.
Remember, children and the elderly, there is a time to gurn and a time to learn.
I just stabbed myself with the door handle again. It's like